Hi, it's Thomas Sells Jr. back with you again. It's been a long time. It's almost like I get the summer off. But we do take our award season this time of the year. So 2022, who are we honoring for the Millington Star with our Athlete of the Year awards? Well, we have a historic moment. For the first time ever, our boards are tied. We have two winners. But let's forget about them. It's all about the Female Athlete of the Year, Micaiah Halliburton of Millington. Three-sport athlete, superstar in every sport, reached all her goals, and just was phenomenal as a student, as a leader in her community, and on the field of play. So we're going to honor her today. And who better to start off with to brag about her than her parents? So we're going to meet with Barbara and Benjamin in a second and get this thing rolling. Then we have a guest of honor at the end. So let's enjoy honoring our 2022 Female Athlete of the Year for the Millington Star, Micaiah Halliburton. Thomas Sells back with you again, and like I said, we had the proud parents here of Micaiah. First of all, congratulations, Ms. Barbara and Mr. Benjamin. How does it feel to know that your daughter not only wins this honor, but she definitely earned this honor? How does it feel?
I guess I'll start. Just super proud. I mean, I just can't even express how proud I am having watched her, start out playing her first competitive sport in 7th grade. Wow. And to see the growth and development over the course of those years. I mean, every year she got better at everything, and she just was like a sponge. She wanted to learn, she wanted to grow, and we could see it in her work ethic. Even though sometimes we would push her and say, "You're not working hard enough," but she would say, "I'm good, and she would work, and she complained here and there, but just to see her growth over those 5 years has really been amazing.
Typical teenage thing.
Typical teenager.
Well, kind of late bloomers that started in 7th grade.
Yes.
What was her first sport?
Was it T-ball?
Meaning when she started competitively?
Yeah.
When she started competitively, it was basketball.
Okay.
Only because it came before track.
Okay.
So in 6th grade, she didn't play anything at all. And then 7th grade, she decided she wanted to do basketball, so she did that, and then she did track. She didn't even do soccer.
So who pushed her to do something? Was it y'all, or was it a coach at school? Who saw some of the potential?
It's funny because I think the potential was always being spotted by other people. We saw it, but we allow our kids to choose. So we didn't want to force them to do anything. If they wanted to, fine. We encouraged them because we knew physical activity was good. Yeah. But we didn't push them. But other people would see potential in her, even from the time when she was in 2nd grade. And I tell this story all the time, and you can add on. But when she was in 2nd grade over at Lucy, her 2nd grade teacher called me one day and said, "Have you guys considered putting Micaiah in track with SYS?" Yeah. And I said, "Well, no, not really." And I said, "Why do you ask?" And she said, "Because I watch her on the playground, and she's a natural, and she could be really good." And so we checked into it, but it was such a time commitment, and we didn't feel like it was right for an 8-year-old to have that level of time commitment. So we didn't do it, but we just, we talked to her about it, and then we just let her decide, and when she felt ready, she did.
Okay, so we fast forward a few years, and the first time she's introduced to the Millington Star Archives is through track. She reached a state in the 8th grade, and Coach Taylor at the middle school, who just recently retired, is just bragging about this girl here and said she is not only going to be a great track athlete and go to state one day in high school, but she's going to be a great athlete, period. You're going to be writing about her. Of course, as usual, he was right. Well, how did y'all feel when she entered high school? A little pressure on her. And did y'all know soccer was going to enter the picture, all that stuff? How were y'all feeling when high school came?
Well, kind of because we knew that she's very athletic and she's competitive, especially when she's on the field, on the court, especially when she's against a rival, somebody that she want to get. Yeah. She gonna play.
Yes, one of our former athletes of the year, Miss Hall from TRA. I know they had a nice little meeting out there a time or two. So yes, I do remember. So yeah, she's very competitive. We'll continue.
Yeah, but we tried to continue to tell her that it's a different world once you step into high school, and even in college, that the level of play it goes up, and so you gotta if you want to be better, you gotta do those things extra. If your team run a mile, then afterwards you need to run a mile and a half, or if they practicing dribbling, then you need to do more at home, because at the end of the day, those people that practice do that extra are the ones that that people recognize, and you see it on the field. So it was, you know, just talking to her about that, even those times she wanted to, you know, it was hard.
Yeah.
You know, we just kept pushing her, you know, just, you know, little things in her ear, little critiques, little, and a lot of things that she was, you know, encouraging her to just, you know, keep doing it. So.
Well, I remember from her freshman year, her athletic year goes soccer, basketball, track. So soccer, freshman year, you're fast, so you need to be on the offense. You need to score, putting pressure on the ninth grader. Next, she thinks she's gonna get a breather. Here's basketball. Here's the ball. You are point guard. Get out there and lead. I'm just get out there and lead. Okay. Then she gets to track and miss state. Now you gotta go to state again, and all that pressure that she could have broke, snapped, and quit. But what got her through that freshman year? Did she grow up a lot? Did y'all see the spiritual side of her get stronger?
Right. So look, a lot of prayer.
Okay.
And just, I think for her seeing us there all the time, and always having her back, even afterwards, even sometimes some games were painful, and you know, you see the tears, you see the frustration, you see the hurt, but you know, like her mom, she'll go right to her. You know, I'm different. I just let her leave her alone, and then let her. You know, so in both of those areas, she does what she does, and I do what I do, and it complements her because she needs both of those, you know, from mom and dad perspective. And so I think with that, even up, you know, to now, it's just I believe it has helped. So.
And I think she saw, you know, the potential there to be able to make a difference, because believe it or not, when she was in 8th grade, we actually considered not sending her to Millington. Even though I was on the school board, I was very clear even to, I think I may have even talked, you know, to some of the other board members, or maybe Superintendent Griffin, to just say it was a struggle for us to make that decision, because we saw potential in her and she had the drive, and we didn't know if it was going to work out. But at the same time, we thought, why not be a catalyst for change? And not go someplace where it's already established. You can go someplace and actually make a really big difference. And so going into her freshman year, I think she felt like, even though it was hard, there was still that potential to change things around. And so she just kept working.
Well, funny you use that word, change. She went through a lot of change. Basketball, I think 3 coaches in 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
2 different coaches in soccer. Then she ends up on defense, but becomes defensive player year, back-to-back years in the region, and helps that team reach historical heights. Then track, and then you don't have a track when you're finishing your career. And by the way, you no longer are competing at Millington Central High School. You're at Millington Central Middle High School. So does Micaiah no change? Yes, she does. But through it all, she kept getting better and better and better. You know, a Miss Basketball Finals nominee in that round before they cut it down to the finals. Her name is in there. Like I said, soccer. She has the individual awards and the team accolades. The basketball team reaches regionals for the first time in over a decade under her leadership and her guys. And then track, she gets up there on that medal stand, her last act as a Lady Trojan. How did it feel to travel to Murfreesboro with her, to put that cherry on top of all her great accomplishments?
Well, unfortunately, we didn't get to travel to Murfreesboro with her.
Wow.
Because I ended up with COVID, as did her brother. Yeah. She didn't have anything.
Yeah, so she had to get away from y'all.
She and her dad are the healthiest people in the house. And so they never get anything. They barely catch a cold.
Yeah.
And so she was able to go, but we had to, you know, we stayed behind, and we got updates from Coach Edwards. But seeing pictures and her, you know, contacting us afterwards. I mean, Coach Edwards sent us videos. I mean, he was right on top of it, making sure we stayed informed about everything that was going on. And we were so excited when we got the video, and he sent us her time, because not only was it going to state, she also had her PR there, which, you know, she kept saying she couldn't do. She didn't think she could do it all through the season. And so making it there and then having a PR on top of it was really cool. So.
And the funny thing is, even that event was a change for her, because that's not her typical event.
It's not.
And she makes a mistake just on her natural ability.
Yeah.
So, and I guess that's why on this award plaque here, that's her final moment right there. So I know it means a little extra special for y'all that y'all wasn't there. So my last question for Mom and Dad, what does the future hold for Micaiah?
That's a great question because I always say, and I have told her this, that she has not even unlocked the potential that she has.
You said it at her sign to Christian.
Maybe a quarter, but I've seen her look different points and times on the soccer field, on the track, and especially on the basketball court. Well, there were times where she just went into beast mode, and I'm like,
I'm sure Bolton remembers too. Yeah.
Right.
Basketball, yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so something was different. What happened? Oh, I was going after her. I said, you played like you had something to prove.
Right.
And that's exactly what it was. So just talking with them, I'm like, you got to have that attitude in every game. Everything that you play, you got to have that mentality. And then that's where your skill and your talent clash, and she's going to be great.
So she can still be making some headlines.
Great area.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think the confidence really is the key because early on she struggled in the area of confidence. You know, believe it or not, she really didn't feel like she measured up, particularly in basketball because she started doing summer ball.
Yeah.
And you know, when you play in AAU, you're playing with girls who've been playing since second grade. And you know, the first time she went, she was like, you know, they're doing things that I can't do. But you can do it. You just got to work at it. And so she did. But she, for the longest time, she thought, well, I can perform well during school. But then when I get to AAU, the talent level is different and I don't perform as well. But the game that he's talking about where we saw her go into beast mode was an AAU game.
Okay.
Where they had a scrimmage against this team and, you know, one of the girls talked a little trash and that just lit a fire. So the next time they played them, she just lit them up. I mean, it was unbelievable to watch. She was knocking down shots from everywhere. They just could not stop her. And so I think that helped to boost her confidence too, to know it was in there. She just had to tap into it. And so I think if she maintains that when she goes to CBU, then the sky really is the limit for what she can do.
Well, we know one thing she can definitely adjust to change. And when you make her mad,
yes,
she turns into the Lady Hulk. But I appreciate Mom and Dad, y'all laying that foundation in her. And y'all, help her to become the young lady that she is today, the student that she is, the athlete, and a good big sister from out here as well. So that's going to do her well when she heads down to Memphis to Christian Brothers. But right now she got a little business to take care of and do this interview that I know she's looking forward to on winning her award. But I appreciate y'all time. I'm Sel Jr. back again, and there she is, the 2022 Female Athlete of the Year for the Millington Star. Micaiah Halliburton, congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to win the honor?
It feels really great because it just feels like a relief because I've been working so hard and it just feels nice to be recognized for everything I've done.
Well, you put in a lot of hard work and doing a lot of change, and but you stayed through the course. You never quit. Why did you never quit in either one of the sports or anything?
Because, well, my first love for just being active was just really high. So I just love being active and just as I played sports and the more I played, the more I just loved it. So I just wanted to get better and I just wanted to be the top of my game every time. So it just grew from when I was younger.
Okay. Freshman year, how did you survive that when all these expectations, not on the track, the sport you went to state in middle school, but here's basketball, they give you the ball as the point guard, then they want you to be a scorer on soccer. How did you make it through without just buckling under that pressure?
Well, just my parents encouraging me to keep going, and then I felt like me having to play different positions, it just would make me a stronger player because I would be more versatile. Yeah. So I could do different things and I don't know, I just didn't, because once I start something, I don't want to finish. My parents always said that to me, once you start, do not quit because you just finish what you start. So quitting never even went through my mind. I just felt like I needed to adjust and I could play through it.
So for you, that means getting to the 12th grade.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so that's a mature mindset. Let's take it one by one. Soccer. Now you move over to defense your sophomore year. You find your footing there. You're all-region defensive player of the year, back-to-back years. And in those years, y'all make the sub-state and host the sub-state game. Y'all made history. Yeah. What do you remember most about soccer?
I remember my senior year, I was just like, we have to make it farther than the year before, because I just felt like we needed to improve. We didn't really lose that many people, so I was like, we still have our main core. We can really get somewhere. So I just remember we just got to push this year because it was our last year for a lot of the seniors and stuff. So I was really pushing to go farther than we did the year before.
You literally had to put your foot where your mouth was. You had to dust out that old scoring boot and kick that goal in the PK. Well, it's called a shootout.
Yeah.
How was that moment when you scored the game-winning goal?
It was unbelievable. And some people were like, a defensive player made the winning shot or whatever, but it was just different. Sometimes I was frustrated because sometimes I'd be like, I could really be up there and like get at least one goal or something. So I would be like, Coach, can I move up there? But I just knew I had to play my position, which would best benefit the team. So I was like, let them do what they do up there, and I'll just do my part on the defensive end. So that's how I kind of had my mindset.
Okay, now let's go to basketball. This is a sport that you might be most known for in the area because, the last 2 years you shine. You pushed the Lady Trojan further than they've been in a long time. But that's sophomore year. I think that's once again, the year where you had to grow up a little bit. Coach Nick Buford is like, you the star, you going to be it. How did you handle that? How did it prepare you for the next 2 years?
I had trouble with it at first because I was like, Coach, I cannot do this spot because it was so uncomfortable, and I feel like every time I made a mistake, it would be on me because he literally said that. He said every mistake is on the point guard, so I was like, oh my goodness, because I already felt like the only person there making a difference. So with that being me having to, like, it was a lot, but like I said, I felt like if I learned that position, then next year, no matter who comes, I could play both parts, point guard, shooting guard, so I could be more versatile. So.
And you made Jemiah better. You made Jontavia better. You Miss McGee get better. So, and then it ended a little too early. Merrill's 1-2 punch hit a little harder than y'all 1-2 punch. But what are you gonna remember most from basketball?
It's so many memories, but I really will remember our senior year because I feel like it was the best year, chemistry wise on the team, us going farther than we ever had in like so long, Millington in period. So it's just a lot of memories I've enjoyed every year, even though it was tough and hard, and sometimes I would complain and all this, but it was really great all 4 years. Okay,
so we conclude with the sport that you conclude with each year. That's track. That's the individual sport. It has some team elements, but nobody's watching you like they would. No scrutiny.
Yeah.
This is your character, your true will. How much do you want it? What do you remember most from your track times, those practices, and everything? You came up short a couple times. Yeah. What do you remember most leading up to your senior year?
Well, before I remember it being like really, really tough. My freshman year, there was other girls there, but every year it wasn't like many sprinters that were like close to my speed where I can actually compete, like we were talking about in practice. Yeah. So it was hard I just felt like I couldn't get better because I wasn't really like having that competition that I needed daily. Like other teams that had many runners that were fast. So
the Centrals, the Whitehavens,
those the bigger teams. So I didn't want to quit because I love track. I love running. I've been running and racing since I was younger. So I was just like, I can't quit. I just wanted to get better. And some of those practices would be so hard. And I would just be like, oh my goodness. And then if I would get to a track meet, my time wouldn't increase. It would kind of be like, man, what am I doing wrong? Yeah. But I was just really surprised when I made it to stay in the 200 because I was like, that's the race I've been not wanting to run the whole year because I've been trying to focus on the 400. Yeah. So it was still really great to go to state. It's just, and I'd never been in high school, so it was a really good milestone that I hit. So.
And Coach Edwards challenged you and said you can make it, and you did. What do you remember in this moment right here? Your last moment as a Lady Trojan.
It was like bittersweet because I was like, I really did it, like really made it to state. And then I was like, it's sad though because it was literally the last like track meet in anything period I'm doing for Millington sports wise. So I was like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, the 4 years flew by. Yeah. All the change flew by, but it's paid off. Now you're getting ready to head to Christmas. You got your school colors in your hair right now, so and like you're excited to be heading to become a Lady Buck. So talk about how all it paid off to reach your goal of going to college.
I wanted to like I think it was middle school or my freshman year. I wanted to I was like, Mom, I want to get recognition and like college is looking at me for all 3 sports or whatever. So I was just really happy because basketball too, but track was another one because I was like, I want to do a sport in college. Like I've been doing them my whole high school career and then some in middle school. So I was like, I want to continue to play sports. So it felt really, it was like a relief when I signed, and I was like, I know where I'm going. I know I'm going to participate in sports. So I was really, really happy about that.
Are you going for track, but things might change. You might end up playing a little basketball there or there. So we never know. Now you can get out there on the soccer field. But my last question for you, Dad said we only seen a 10th of what you can do. Is he right?
I feel like he is because I'm in my head so much, and like they were talking about my confidence it like would fluctuate. So I think once I really get that mindset of just beast mode all the time, putting in that work, working hard nonstop, I really think I could exceed beyond what I did at high school. So only time will tell.
Okay. But I just got some advice for all your future opponents. Just be nice to her. She'll stay low, but you make her mad. Well, Micaiah, we want to congratulate you, and you know it's bittersweet for me because I don't get to cover you on a routine basis like I used to. But maybe your brother BJ might, get involved in some things, and the Halliburton name will continue to shine in our archives. But you definitely left your mark on